Long-term disability benefits under an insurance policy. Well, we've heard about long-term disability insurance before, but what exactly is it and how does it work? Well, that takes us to this week's case. It involves a real man. He had a long-term disability insurance policy through his employer. A lot of people, you may be included in this, have long-term disability benefits through your employment. It's part of your compensation. And it generally provides that in the event of disability, as defined under the policy, you will receive a payment on a monthly basis to make up for your lost income. Now that payment will vary depending on the terms of the policy. Some policies have very specific terms. They say that you'll get such as $3,000 a month. Others have a scaled benefit, such as 60% of the income you had before you became disabled. Well, okay, so when you become disabled, when this man became disabled, he brought claim under his insurance company. But one thing he wasn't aware of, and one thing a lot of people aren't aware of, is when that insurance company writes that policy, they provide in the policy that you must apply for Social Security disability, and that when you get Social Security disability, the benefits you get from Social Security are offset against the money that comes from the insurance company. What does that mean? That means if the insurance company promised to pay you $3,000, Social Security then gives you $1,000 a month, the insurance company, believe it or not, now will only pay $2,000. Their argument is you're getting a total of $3,000, and that's what they said you were going to get. A lot of people don't understand that. But it sometimes gets even a little more complicated, as it did to this fellow. Because this fellow applied for Social Security disability, did everything he was supposed to do, and Social Security, as is often the case, took a very long time. There were repeated denials. He finally got to a hearing before an administrative law judge. Administrative law judge found that he was disabled, but because of all the time it took, he received a very large back due award. What's a back due award? Well, it's simply that if he were found disabled in 2005 and finally he gets paid in 2013 or 14, well, he gets paid for all of those years that he was disabled, that he wasn't getting payment. That's what happened in this instance. Fella got $73,000 in past due Social Security benefits. Insurance company, of course, jumps up right away and says, we get that $73,000. Guy says, I understand that. That's how you guys wrote the policy. So he pays them the $73,000. But then, out of the middle of nowhere, up jumps the IRS. IRS says, hey, that was income to you. You got $73,000 from Social Security. You have to pay taxes on that. The guy says, wait a second, why do I have to pay taxes? I never saw the money. I got the money from Social Security. I gave the money to the insurance company. I never even saw the money. They said, makes no difference. It was income to you. The guy said, I'm not going to pay it. My accountant said, I shouldn't pay it. And we don't think we should pay it. So IRS brings suit, goes to tax court, and there the tax court took a look at this. And what they did is they examined the federal statute, and the federal statute provides that if you get an overpayment from Social Security, I mean they paid you too much, and you repay the money to Social Security, well, there's no tax due on that because you never saw the money. But if you receive the money from Social Security and you give it to somebody else, I mean, you could buy a new car, you could give it to your wife, you could give it to some friends or relatives who have helped you out during the tough times that you had. Whatever you do with it, that's up to you, and you owe taxes on it, is what the tax court said. So this man wound up having to pay that $73,000 to the insurance company and being taxed on that $73,000 and having to pay $16,000 in taxes. Oh boy. I don't think that was something he had anticipated. So what do we learn from this case? Well, we learn a couple of things. One, that under long-term disability, guess what? You don't get everything the insurance company says you're going to get, because whatever you get is being offset by Social Security disability. It also means that when you get that money from Social Security disability and you pay it to the insurance company, you can get taxed on whatever that lump sum is that you give to them. Can be a substantial amount of money, and it may happen at a time when you're finally recovering from all kinds of financial hassles you had while you have been out of work. Not the news you want to get, but it's the way, unfortunately, the law works. It's the way insurance companies request this reimbursement. We bring you this case, as we bring you cases every week, so you understand how the law works. Like it or not, that you will understand. I'm David Allen.